Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Naranam Nanam Chevanaruttamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jyaudhirayet Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhakti Ravati Nashtaki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 28, verse number 63. Oh, okay. Who wants to read the verse? You can raise your hand.
Mataji, it's a 62.
Mataji, today is 62, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, 62. It's today is 62. Hare Krishna.
Okay, who would like to read the verse? Anjali Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Verse number from 4th chapter 28, 4th canto 28, chapter 62 verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Aham bhavan chanyastvam tvamevaham vichakshabhoho nanau pashyanti kavaye chidram jatu managapi. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you. Aham, I, Bhavan, you, na, not, cha, also, anya, different. Tvam, you, eva, certainly. Aham, as I am. Vichakshava, just observe. Bho, my dear friend. Na, not, now of us. Pashyanti, do observe. Kavayaha, learned scholars. Chidram, faulty differentiation. Jatu, at any time. Manak, in small degree. Api, even. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada Ki Jai. My dear friend, I, the super soul, and you, the individual soul, are not different in quality. For we are both spiritual. In fact, my dear friend, you are qualitatively not different from me in your constitutional position. Just try to consider this subject. Those who are actually advanced scholars, who are in knowledge, do not find any qualitative difference between you and me. Purport by His Divine Grace Prabhupada Ki Jai. Both the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the living entity are qualitatively one. There is no factual difference between the two. The Mayavadi philosophers are again and again defeated by the illusory energy because they think that there is no separation between the supersoul and the individual soul, or that there is no supersoul. They are also misled in thinking that everything is the supersoul. However, those who are Kavayaha, learned scholars, actually know the facts. They do not commit such mistakes. They know that God and individual soul are one in quality, but that the individual soul falls under the clutches of Maya, whereas the super soul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the controller of Maya. Maya is the creation of the Supreme Lord, Maya Shrishta. Therefore, the Supreme Lord is the controller of Maya. Although in quality with the Supreme Lord, the individual soul is under the control of Maya. Mayavadi philosophers cannot distinguish between the controller and the controlled. Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyananjan Chalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahiyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Gantha Radha Gantha Namastite Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishbhanuste Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namne. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Let's read the verse again. Aham bhavana chanyastvam tvam evaham vichakshava nanau pashyanti kavayas chidram jato managapi. My dear friend, I, the super soul, and you, the individual soul, are not different in quality. For we are both spiritual. In fact, my dear friend, you are qualitatively not different from me in your constitutional position. Just try to consider this subject. Those who are actually advanced scholars, who are in knowledge, do not find any qualitative difference between you and me. We are reading from 4th Canto Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Creation of the Fourth Order, and chapter number 28, which is entitled Vidharvi becomes a, or Puranjana becomes a,
Woman in the next life.
Woman in next
Woman
life.
in the next life.
Puranjana becomes a woman in the next life, and that woman is Vidharvi.
Vidharvi.
And Vidharvi is representing allegorically. What is she representing allegorically?
Disciple.
Disciple of
Pure disciple.
Dedicated, sincere disciple.
Dedicated
Yes, thank
disciple
you.
of Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Disciple of Malayadhwaja,
Of
who is
Malayadhwaja, the spiritual master.
Yeah, who's a bona fide spiritual master. Very nice. Thank you very much. Malayadhwaja has left his body and she is performing the last rites for Malayadhwaja, and she is grief stricken. And she wants to die with Malyadhwaja because she can't bear the separation. Then, when she's about to end her life, Krishna comes in the form of Brahmana and starts to revive her memory. And then he poses some questions. He poses some questions to Vidharvi. And what are those questions? So far, what have we studied? What are those questions?
Who are you?
Who
Whose
are
daughter
you?
or wife?
To whom do you
are
belong? And 9 gates.
Who are you?
Don't you
Whose
remember
daughter are
me?
you? Whose wife are you? Who is this? That body, how is this related to you? I don't think that this person is your well-wishing husband,
Yes.
right? And then
Don't
You are not the, actually, you are not the daughter of Vidarbhi and not the Malyadhwaja
I'm
Yes.
was
Mr.
your
Friend.
husband.
and then first he asks that, do you remember me? And then he says that I am your friend. I am your friend who is always with you. And now the question can be raised that I'm not aware of it. How come I'm not aware? So we got that question answers. How come I am not aware? If you are my friend, then how I'm not aware that you're my friend? Krishna answered that question in the previous verse. What did he say in yesterday's verse? What did he say?
Because you are captivated by the 9 gates.
Captivated by the external energy,
Mm.
Maya.
Maya is
And then in this particular verse, Krishna is emphasizing the qualitative oneness. In verse number 63, we will understand the emphasis on the quantitative difference. This is qualitative oneness, how in quality I am same as Krishna. You know, when I was thinking about this, this can be something like, okay, so there are children, sometimes the children don't look like the parents. Okay, they look like their grandparents. This is called progeny recapitulates ontogeny. This is mechanism in genetics where sometimes the children don't look like parents, but they look like grandparents or great grandparents. Okay, I think it's called ontogeny recapitulates progeny, or it will be like Dr. Saxena, what will it be called as? Ontogeny recapitulates progeny or progeny? Progeny
I don't know,
recapitulates.
but progeny I know, but the other words I don't know what it is.
So I think progeny recapitulates ontogeny means like the progeny, the future generation is looking like the
Yeah.
previous generation. Okay, so it's a mechanism in the genetical science of genetics. So we can say that, okay, I am Krishna's part and parcel, but I don't behave like Krishna's part and parcel. So how do you prove it? Like, for example, if somebody says, okay, you don't look like your parents, how do you prove that you are your parents' child? How do you prove? So, okay, how do I prove? I will ask my parents. Was they born to you? There are different ways, right? There are different ways of proving. What are some of the
Yes.
ways that if somebody is asking a question that this particular person is not looking like their parents, but they are saying that they are the child of these parents? So how do you prove? Some of the okay, directly go and confirm it with the parents. Okay. But then there are other ways. Huh?
Genetic profiling, Mataji.
Yeah, do the gene mapping. You look at the map of your family and figure out, or go and check your ancestry. So there are different ways of checking. So if I'm say, okay, I am actually Krishna's part and parcel, but I am not behaving like Krishna's part and parcel at all. I have nothing. Krishna's body is Sachidananda and my body is Asat, Nirananda, and Sat, Asat, Chit is ignorance, Avidya, and Achit, and then Nirananda. So how can you say that I'm Krishna's part and parcel? What are different tests or different mechanisms that we can adopt to prove that I am indeed Krishna's part and parcel? So this is the verse that we can quote. Okay, this is the answer. This is the answer of my inheritance, of my belongingness, of my family pedigree, that I actually belong to Krishna, because Krishna himself is saying. Remember, we said that if I don't look like, if we don't, or somebody doesn't look like their parents, and the other person is doubting that how can you say that you're these parents, these people are your parents? One of the ways is to ask the parent. Didn't we say that? Yes or no? Didn't we say, how do you prove your inheritance? Go ask the mom and dad.
Yes, Mataji.
Says, okay, this is Krishna himself saying, I don't look like Krishna. How can you say that I'm Krishna's? So Krishna himself is saying it. So he's saying that Mam eva ansha jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. And he is saying, Aham bhavan na cha anyastvam. So I and you. So this is a very unique dialogue. It's written in a very unique language if you actually pay attention. My dear friend, I, the super soul, and you, the individual soul, okay, are not different in quality. For we are both spiritual. And then the next line is again the same repetition. In fact, my dear friend, you're qualitatively not different from me in your constitutional position. So, the same thing, but repeated in a different manner. So it's like saying, the same example that I'm giving, that if somebody doesn't look like their parent, and one of the ways to prove that inheritance is to go ask the parent, and the parent will answer something like this: you are my child. You are not anybody else's child. You get that? So it's like that. You are my child. You are not anybody else's child. So it's like, okay, you actually belong to me. Okay, you and me. I, the super soul, I who is our super soul, and you, the individual soul, are not different in quality. For we are both spiritual. In fact, my dear friend, so he actually established a relationship twice. We are friends. My dear friend, my dear friend. You are qualitatively not different from me in your constitutional position. So in your constitutional position, you may look like different outside externally, but for example, that I've been using for this particular class, again, I go back to it, that if a particular person doesn't look like their parents, and the parent says, the body may look like somebody else, but your genes are mine. You go and test them. You do a buccal swab and you send your buccal swab to the generics. Your mapping will come like what I have in my mouth. Buccal swab. Outside, you may look like something else. So constitutionally, you're mine. And we are both friends. So, and you're nobody else's. You're just mine. So try to consider this subject very deeply. One who actually considers and actually understands a very advanced scholar. Prabhupada Krishna is saying that person a very advanced scholar. He's not still those people who are trying to find out innovative ways to go to other planets as advanced scholars. We don't see. Actually, that kind of knowledge in 13th chapter is described as a knowledge within the Kshetra and Kshetragna field. There's nothing beyond the Kshetra. This particular knowledge where you are mine, but you're not anybody else's. We are same. We are outside, you may look like whatever you are looking like right now, but constitutionally you're mine. I and you are same. Qualitative oneness is important. This doesn't mean that I am equal in size to my originator, or I'm equal in quantity to my originator. I am equal in quality. Same. So that person is advanced scholar, and who are in knowledge do not find any qualitative difference between me and you. Understood? So this is very nicely written, very nice dialect, and very nice analysis. So this is like we are analyzing how I actually belong to Krishna and how I actually not belong to anybody else. Both things are done. Okay, only Krishna, not anybody else. So my gene mapping will not match constitutionally with anybody else because I only belong there. So, so if now what mistake Prabhupada is elaborating in purport, this is the third interesting thing. Prabhupada is elaborating in the purport that Mayavadis are thinking that everybody, including Krishna or God, is in the external energy of God, which is Maya. Means Krishna is also under Maya, and the individual soul is also under Maya. That is why when the influence of Maya is removed, everything becomes one. This is just like Maya. You see, they know that God and individual soul are one in quality, but that the individual soul falls under the clutches of Maya, whereas the super soul, so this is learned scholars. Super soul, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the controller of Maya. So we understand that difference as well. That one is always controlling and the other is always controlled. You know, I was talking today to one of my friends who is, this is one example, I found it very interesting while I was talking to him, that he's in Indian Foreign Services, okay? So he's saying, okay, wherever he's posted, this family, come visit us. Okay, I said, okay, but wherever you are, I have to actually get a visa. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm going to give you a diplomat letter and you can bypass many steps. I said, okay. So actually, you are the controller, and when you act, then I can, so many things are taken over. Basically, it means that same rule, same travel distance, same everything. Sorry. But one is under the control and the other is controlled. Controller and controlled. Okay, we can learn this from everywhere. So Maya is the creation of the Supreme Lord, Maya Shrestha, where therefore the Supreme Lord is the controller of Maya. Although one in quality with the Supreme Lord, the individual soul is under the control of Maya. Maya, the philosophers cannot distinguish between the controller and the controlled, or energy and the energetic. Cannot control this very simple philosophy. You know, Krishna consciousness is simple life, simple living, high thinking. But if anybody who is not in Krishna consciousness is always making some khichdi with their life, as we see in this particular case, where there's so much speculation, imagination, and misunderstanding of everything around what is happening in my constitutional position. So basically, a Maya, the philosopher, will not be convinced by any way of whatever we discussed in my original example of the class today, that how do we prove our inheritance if we don't look like our parents. One of the ways is ask the parents. Second way is send the gene mapping. And third way is go and look for your ancestry. Right? So they're not going to get convinced. So everybody's same. Nobody is God. Everybody is Narayan. So Prabhupada says Mayavadis address each other as Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. But Krishna is the controller, and he's always a controller, even in the material world and the spiritual world. If he is superior, if Maya is superior than Krishna, then how can Krishna be the controller? And Maya becomes the controller, right? So basically, understand that there is a qualitative oneness between me and Krishna. I may look like whatever I may look like because of the difference situation of the three modes of material nature, and that modes of material nature avoiding a particular type of a material body to a soul. But within our gene mapping will come out to be same. I am going to have same qualities as Krishna. If I actually can harvest that existence in my being in this particular place at this particular time, with the practice of Krishna consciousness. We can do it. With the practice of Krishna consciousness, it is possible. It's possible. For example, if somebody is, what are some of the things that we can change in our life? Tell me some of the things we can change. Can we practice sleeping on schedule and getting up on schedule even when you are not used to it, but can we practice and do it? Can we
Mataji, that
practice?
can be done. We can, that can be,
Yes, that can be done too.
yes,
We
Mataji.
can do that, right? Can we practice, austerity? Can we practice refraining eating from certain foods? Like say if somebody has diabetes, now you're not gonna give them a dabba of gulab jamun. Here you go, have fun. The person has to practice, right?
Yes.
Abhyasena, Krishna says practice. So like that, we have to practice to come to this particular understanding, because you see the purpose is given to us. The methodology is given to us. The teachers are given to us. So what is it that I have to do is to accept and execute, accept and practice it in real person. The nice words, try to read it again after the class. In my dear friend, I, the super soul, you, the individual soul, are not different in quality. For we are both spiritual. In fact, my dear friend, you are qualitatively not different from me in your constitutional position. So we are not different and you are not different than me. This is basically he's saying. Any questions, reflections, realizations? Did I make sense or was it confusing? Dr. Saxena.
It was very clear, Mataji, but it's very difficult to remove the body consciousness. That's it, difficult to go.
Yeah, so what makes it difficult? Okay, let's list some of the things which make it difficult for
Yes.
us to think that I'm not the body. Let's make a
Theoretically,
list. Let me
theoretically,
just open.
yes.
Go
I mean
ahead.
to say that theoretically, we know that we are qualitatively same. We have been listening this long, but when it comes to real existence or practical application, we forget. The body consciousness overtakes the spiritual consciousness.
Yeah, very good. So thank you for bringing up. I appreciate. So let's talk about what are the obstacles. Yes, everyone, you can raise your hand. Tell me what are the obstacles that we face to realize that I'm not the body, I'm the soul in our day-to-day life. What are your obstacles? I'll start with one.
I have my family.
Mataji, my activities are aligned to my bodily existence. You know, if I'm only working for the body, then how will I realize I'm the soul? If I'm my only schedule is around body, eating, sleeping, mating, defending, running here, there, getting healthy, watching TV, either the body, then how, that's what my activities are aligned to my bodily existence. What is the other obstacle that you face to remember that I'm not the body, I'm the soul in day-to-day life?
Family relation, Mataji.
Huh?
Family relations.
Attachment to
Okay,
the
very
family
nice.
relations.
Bodily relationships. Sorry. Easy to perceive because they're visible, right? Right? Since they are within my field of vision. Oh, Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, what else is making it difficult to perceive in daily life that I'm not the
Pains
body?
and diseases. Pains and diseases.
Okay, very nice. So
We
bodily.
control our senses. We can't control our senses.
Can't control our senses. So tell me more about what do you mean? Like, what is it?
We see everything.
Uncontrolled
We
sense
hear everything.
gratification.
We can't control.
So uncontrolled sense gratification.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Physical
Thank you.
pain
What
and
else?
pleasure.
Huh?
Physical pain and pleasures.
Yeah, bodily pains and diseases. Okay, so bodily pleasures. Yeah, that also makes it difficult. Okay, very nice. What else makes it difficult to remember? Dr. Saxena brought up a very good agenda for Lok Sabha, So, what else?
Mataji, what I feel that probably our commitment and dedication to to the cause of devotional service is lacking. That is why we are so much bodily obsessed with our body, physical body, rather than thinking of soul at most of the times.
Okay,
So
very nice.
perhaps
So faith in
because in the morning time, we are always, while worshipping or chanting, we are thinking of, we are uniting ourselves with the soul, or connecting with soul, and also uniting with super soul, perhaps thinking of Krishna and Radha, Rani only. But the whole day activities, physical activities, bodily care, and comforts, and bodily necessities, they overtake the concept of soul, which exists during morning time.
Okay, very nice. What else? So faith in
Remembrance.
spiritual sciences week, huh?
Remembrance. Actually, remembering the earlier thoughts and everything.
Remembering what, Mataji?
Our earlier deeds and everything, our actions, or whatever we did in the earlier this thing, remembering always.
Oh, I'm not understanding. Remembering what deeds? Like the bodily
Remembering the
deeds?
past, Mataji.
Past deeds and everything.
Oh, so what do we write? Memory being occupied by material activities? Does it sound okay?
Probably she means past activities, but
Past activities.
past
Like,
activities.
give me an example. Give me an example.
Maybe
Uma
our
Mataji.
childhood activities and everything. At the,
Oh, okay.
our
Okay,
happiest
activity.
moment, whatever we spend with our family in our childhood or something like that.
Or I should write activities of material existence.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else, or we'll go down the list? Anybody else?
Feeling happy and
Feeling
contented.
happy. Huh?
Feeling happy, we can pursue happiness and pleasures with this body in this life.
This is bodily pleasures, number 5 and number 3, bodily pains and diseases, bodily pleasures. Is
Mataji,
that
I
what you
would,
mean?
Mataji, I would just like to say, like, for a layman, Krishna is not visible. They have not read Bhagavad Gita in the way that we are perceiving that Krishna is everywhere. So when you see something, you can easily relate to it. But
Yes,
but what happens is when Krishna is hidden somewhere, no, matlab, he is only visible to the pure devotees' eyes. So it takes time, So they are not able to reach to that level. So they are not able to perceive. Matlab, they consider only the things which are visible to them. The body is giving them pleasure. So that is the only thing which they feel.
very nice. So number 2, bodily relationships are easy to perceive since they are within my field of vision. Is that what you mean? Okay.
Yeah, Mataji, and also what happens is, I'm just adding to it. I don't know I'm able to explain it or not. Like when we are a body, when we are thinking it in this way, we are able to perceive it. But at the same moment of time, we are not able to perceive God because we are not at that level. So there has to be a guru. That is what I just like to speak about. There has to be somebody who can make us aware that somebody is there who is beyond our imagination. Otherwise, we are not able to revive our relation anyhow with the God.
Very nice. Thank you.
Mataji, could I add one more point, Mataji?
Yes.
Lack of inquisitiveness and contentment with present existence.
Oh, so lack of
Inquisitiveness
about what?
Inquisitiveness about the real existence, that we are soul, not this body. We lack this. Sometimes we don't focus on this thought at all.
And
And we are,
what is
and
the other thing?
other thing was contentment with material existence. We are happy in a comfort zone, so we don't think of our spiritual
Very nice.
existence.
Very nice. Thank you very much. So these are the, so if we discuss, so my activities are aligned according to my bodily existence. Like I sleep, I get up, I see myself in the mirror, I said, okay, I'm this particular person. Okay, I have the day planned according to these things today. Okay, I need to brush my teeth. Okay, I need to dress up, shower, eat food. So everything is like according to the body, you know. So that's make it difficult. So what is the antidote? Can I make it spiritual? So regulate, you know, regulate the bodily needs. That is why the antidote is, let's talk about the antidote, is regulate, right? You help me. I'm also doing it like extempore. I haven't prepared it. Regulate
Regulate
the
and
needs.
Mataji, and also just fulfill the basic needs which we had been taught so far. Just look for
Regulate.
satisfy the basic needs only, not go for
Regulate
extravagant.
and limit the needs of the body.
Yes.
Okay. My bodily relationships easy to perceive since they are within my visual field. What is the antidote for this? How can we see Krishna there? I have an idea, but I want to hear yours.
Control the senses inwards.
All right. Okay. So
Vision should be inwards.
All right. So, okay. So I'm going to take a vote now. Okay. Dr. Saxena is saying, and this is fun. I'm sorry if you have to leave, please feel free to leave anybody. But bodily relationships are easy to feel since I can see them, right? So what is the antidote? Dr. Saxena is saying regulate the senses from within. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 3, 1 being the easiest, it's very easy for me to control the senses from within, and 3 being the hardest, very hard. How many of you grade 1?
Hardest thing in the world, Mataji.
Okay,
Hardest
Dr.
matter.
Westy is the hardest, okay.
Hardest
How many of
matter.
you rated as 3? 2? I can't take a poll. Anybody? 3? How about 3?
It can be done, Mataji.
Okay. Yes, it can be done, but we are talking about something which we can do right now. So I would say practice Krishna consciousness together.
Yes, it can be done, Mataji.
So don't make so hard life on yourself. Don't make life hard on yourself. Like Prabhupada said, like the whole family can worship Krishna together. Right? It's everybody can collect in the house and chant Hare Krishna or offer the Aarti or offer the Damodar Diya. Or at least honor Prasadam together. Something can be done together. All right, number 3 and number 5 we'll do together. Bodily pains and pleasures. If I am undergoing bodily pains, diseases, and bodily pleasures, then what is the antidote? What's the treatment? How can I remember Krishna in all those times?
Mataji, there are 2 things which we can change in our life. First is our psyche. We can work on our psychology. That God is there. You are a body. Matlab, you are a soul. You are not this body. So ultimately there has to be, means only Bhagavad Gita, I think this is one of the things, if you are starting, you can at least develop the concept that you are a soul. You are not a body. And at the same moment of time, we can change our environment. As you are saying, we can sit together, we can eat together, we can chant together. And ultimately, when we develop our environment, which is centered around Krishna and positivity, so ultimately, that is the only thing which can bring change to it. That is what I feel, sincerely feel. Hare Krishna.
Thanks. Okay. Thank you for the participation. Anyone else?
Mataji, during pain, we remember Krishna. There is no, most of us do. But during pleasure, we forget him. When
Yeah.
this is
दुख
the
में
truth.
सिमरन सब करे सुख में करे ना कोई
करे ना कोई.
जो सुख में सिमरन करे दुख काहे को होई. So, right? All right.
This is the reality with most of us.
Yes, but okay, but there's something we can do on daily basis. You know, we're talking about a regular day-to-day life.
Yes.
Bodily pains, okay, my head is hurting, or pleasure, oh, the food was awesome, or the work was awesome, something like that. How do we
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes.
Remind yourself every day that Krishna is the supreme controller. He is the creator. That you are not the controller.
So how do we, that's the whole deal. How do we remind ourselves? How? What's your strategy?
Mataji, chanting regulative principles. This is,
Chanting.
Put
because
Krishna
chanting
as the
is the,
center of activity.
and eating prasad only.
Whatever
Very nice.
that do, Mataji, will remember Krishna and do that thing.
Yes, but you can hear Prabhupada daily. Hearing Shri Prabhupada daily.
Hearing, yes.
Association, Mataji.
Yeah. Yes, association is very important too, like
Very
a
important.
regular association.
Offering our obeisances to all our
Regular,
acharyas.
voluntary. Huh?
Offering the obeisances to our acharyas because their grace is something which is taking us forward in Krishna consciousness.
Okay, very nice. Thank you, Mataji. So same, 3 and 5 we did same. Uncontrolled sense gratification. I think the answer to
Mataji,
this
thinking
is
that
same.
it is our karma, thinking that it is our karma, bad deeds, and we are bearing. We have to try to bear. With all
So
those
cultivating
things.
tolerance.
No, my body pain, and I'm telling. This we can think it is our past karmas,
The
and we
karma,
are
think
facing.
about karma, Mataji, the concept of karma can be taken in a correct consciousness, like you're trying to explain us, or it can be taken as a as an excuse from everything. Because you see, in Krishna consciousness, that's the beauty. Karma is not fixed. The other day, my friend was telling me, Paijata was telling me the other day, that devotees, Krishna helps the sincere devotee to get rid of the karma even in the dream. Now, sometimes a devotee has like very dangerous dreams or something. So the senior devotee say, okay, you actually got rid of your karma in the dream. It's not going to happen to you in reality. Yeah, so karma is like, what is the karma? Karma is a lesson. What are you learning from that in this particular situation? Is you're learning to tolerate. We're going to change it. Right? Okay, uncontrolled sense gratification. What's the antidote? Quickly. What's the antidote for uncontrolled sense gratification?
Sealing on desires, Mother.
Sealing our desires.
Sealing on desires, yes.
Stealing desires मतलब क्या बोलना चाह रहे हो आप?
What I mean that, if I'm attracted to buy something which is really not required, then I resist from buying it. Sealing on desires of any kind. Desires, physical, comfort, material desires, or possessive desire to possess something. So, or even eating. Okay. It amounts to regulating their lifestyle.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Feels very hard to me. Thank you. Anyone else?
Mataji, remembering the stories of Krishna, because Krishna books, many times we feel that whenever we are feeling this many desires and you start reading any literature, you feel that all the things are so tasteless as compared to what we are reading right now. Krishna books, some very interesting books are there from Prabhupada. Ultimately, if you are reading perfect question, perfect answers, how to improve your consciousness, it's really beautiful books are there, and actually they help, Mataji. I have seen their impact.
Reading scriptures regularly. Then I was gonna say take up austerity voluntarily.
Yes, that is what.
Like for example, austerity of strictly being on the internet for non-work use for maybe half an hour a day. If somebody is working on computer, that's different, but non-work use, okay, I'm going to do it only for this much time in a day. Take it up and do it. Or I'm going to, in Damodar month, chant 17 rounds, 18 rounds every day, and I'm going to increase double my rounds on Ekadashi, something like that. Very nice. And also the number 1, the regulate bodily needs. All right, so bodily pleasures we did. Faith and spiritual science is weak. I think the same, chanting or reading scriptures regularly. But honestly, what really works if the faith is weak is that one has to first develop an understanding that my faith is weak. Understand one's own position in Krishna consciousness. Okay, memory being occupied by activities of one's material existence. What is the antidote? What are you going to do? Memory is made up of activities in the physical domain. Okay, that's how memory is made. In the material existence, the memory is made by activities in the physical domain with the physical body. So if we want to, if we want to saturate our memory with something spiritual, then do spiritual activity with the body. Am I making sense? You can tell me, what do you think? Okay, so I'll finish.
Accepting previous activities as probably Krishna's grace, and this probably we can divert from our own concept to that God related.
So spiritualize our activities. That's what you mean, right, Dr. Saxena, if I'm understanding you correctly?
Yeah, exactly, Mataji. Whatever memories we have, let us relate to God that it happened because God wanted it so.
Yeah, I mean, if you are churning butter like Mother Yashoda, then think of Mother Yashoda. If you are cooking, then also you can think of her, or you can think of Damayanti from Chaitanya, right? Or if I'm, planning a vacation, plan it. We're not saying don't go on vacation, but plan it, or plan it accordingly that it will recharge the Krishna consciousness. This is Krishna is invisible to common vision. Krishna is invisible. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, read or memorize verse number 6.30. Yes, Reena Gupta Mataji. What is the verse?
Cosmic manifestations.
Yomam Pashyati.
Yeah. So good.
Go ahead. Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra.
Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra. Sarvatra echa mai pashyati tasyam na pranashyami sachamena pranashyati.
What does it mean? इसका मतलब क्या है?
कि जो मुझे देखता है मैं भी उसको देखता हूँ और तस्याम न प्रणश्यामि जो मुझे देखता है मैं भी उसे देखता हूँ और उसका कभी नाश नहीं होता सचमेन प्रणश्यामि.
So whoever sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I'm never lost to him and he's never lost to me.
Krishna is invisible to common vision. For me, going to temple and take darshan is also very important to making faith in Krishna.
Very nice. So visiting temples.
That was the question. In fact, that was the question Arjuna had asked, how a common man shall see you through your cosmic manifestation. Then Krishna says that you can see me in moon, stars, flower, fragrance, strength, and all those things.
Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra. Very nice. It's so nice. Yes. So now you are going to see the sun, the moon, the blue sky. So the color of the sky is blue because it is a reflection from the body of Krishna. So how can you forget Krishna? How can you forget Krishna? Okay, Asat Sangha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Asat Sangha Tyaga, say Vaishnavachar. Ramananda Rai asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is a Vaishnava? He didn't say a worshipper of Vishnu. He didn't say one who is chanting the holy name. He didn't say one who is eating only prasadam. What did he say? Asat Sangha Tyaga. Say Vaishnava Achar. One who is able to leave the association of non-devotees. And by association, we understand, not like physically get up and go. If you can't go at your work, if there are no devotees, doesn't mean you resign and you don't work, or you only work from home. But even if you work from home, the mind is also Asat Sangha. So what is the antidote? The antidote is to surround oneself with like devotees. But real serious devotees, not like devotees just because of show bottle spiritualism. Lack of inquisitiveness about transcendental existence and contentment with material existence. So this is a very big topic. comfort zone, there is no growth in comfort zone. The growth is always outside the comfort zone. If I, keep myself in that bubble of a comfort zone, I'll never be able to grow out. There's a story about a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. Do you know the story? Caterpillar becoming a butterfly? Do you know the story?
Yes, Mataji.
What is the story? Please tell us.
When we regular thinking about the okay,
So,
sorry,
okay, that's
butterfly.
good too. That our desires direct our future. That was a lesson. But then there was this little boy, okay, and then his mom gave him this caterpillar as a gift and said that in few days you're going to see a monarch butterfly coming out of it. So the boy would check it every day. Is the butterfly coming? Is the butterfly coming? One day he saw that something was coming out of the shell. Something was trying to put his head out. Long time. The boy was getting very, very restless. It was taking very long time for the shell to break open and the thing to come out. So what did the boy do? He said, I'm going to help it. I'm going to help this particular living entity to come out, monarch butterfly to come out very quickly. So you know what he did? He went and got a wooden stick. He went and got a wooden stick and then he broke open the shell. And then what did he see? He saw a very unique looking creature. It didn't look like a monarch butterfly anywhere. It didn't look like that. It looked like something like half wings, half like a different kind of a creature. So what was the lesson learned? The lesson learned was that we have to go through what we have to go through in order to grow. So when the caterpillar is becoming a butterfly, it has to lose a lot of its bodily secretions. It has to lose a lot of water. It has to shed its skin, and it takes time when it is rubbing against the shell to come out and fly as a beautiful butterfly. But if we break it prematurely, then we don't know what we are. So if we are very comfortable in our comfort zone and are not trying to break out of it, even though we may take our time, but at least try to break out of it in some way or other, then we will be forever comfortable in the material zone. Forever. Prabhupada said this is one place where we can be guests forever. No, if somebody comes to our house as a guest, generally after 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, month, 6 months, like, okay, when are you going back? Yeah, do we have that? If the guest comes like that, okay,
Yes,
time to
Mataji.
go. Don't you have something else? But in material world, we can stay here forever, as we have been, unless and until we actually come out of our comfort zone. So for me, the lesson learned is taking risk is a risk, but not taking a risk is also a risk. Now I have to choose which risk I want to take, by taking a risk or by not taking a risk. Okay. Okay, so I think we'll do Damodar Leela tomorrow. I'll cover 3-4 shlokas. Any questions, reflections, realizations, corrections? This is all by Dr. Saxena. If you have anything,